Ah, England. From the highlands to the fields, to the beautiful beaches, to the Cunks that inhabit it. We travel across this great union and explore it in all its diversity. From the cities to the boats.
Hi, my name is Cunk, and I travel through Britain to learn more about gravel.
The trains that run across Britain travel at high speeds.
I'm inside this house. This is not where the gravel is kept. It's kept outside here.
The Fab Four and the Sex Pistols played for the Queen and Emily Bronte.
So, Mr. Person, will you tell us something that I haven't known yet?
Oh yeah, so we are living in Britain.
This was the coat worn by Lord Nelson, but he donated it to the grandmas. I climb a hill that is famous for its fog and wetness. These are the white cliffs of Dover.
Dover! Woo! Cliffs!
Pooh the king, the castles and the tapestries, the zoetropes and the Stonehenges, all of this is Cunk on Britain.
Okay, that's boring. Right, we're in a farm.
The farms were invented by machines when they didn't want to work anymore. There were some titties, and then they built a statue. A lot of people helped.
I'm gonna meet a titty historian that used to live on the farm. He's gonna tell us all about the lifestyle and the struggles these people go through.
The Titstorian, as you might know, lives on vast country estates where they can study the subject at their leisure, inviting various grand dames and dogs to their houses and dressing in the finest furs. This has been a tradition for several hundred years.
I explore these places and I wish to buy some furs as well.
Oh yes, the poetic readings for the Society of Men Who All Look the Same.
Men and women used to look the same, kind of like it is nowadays. It was a dangerous time, but poetry always got them through it. I might meet a person that has some rhymes for us and see if we can get through this interview. Hello, Mr. Rhymes-a-Lot.
Hello, I'm a historian. Do you want to ask something?
Yes.
What exactly? I'm a historian, as I said. And I like Britain and I like titties.
Okay.
Yeah, what okay? Ask something.
Right, so give us your best titty story.
Yeah, well, Britain has so many titties. Small titties, big titties, medium-sized titty.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, even black titties.
Right. Did you learn this on your time on the farm?
Well, yeah, like I had some midget titties as well.
Wow, okay. And were you inspired by your mother?
Oh yeah, like she had the best titties.
Okay.
Yeah, do you like titties?
I could not give a straight answer, for I was admiring the work of Lord Byron. Lord Byron traveled to the land of the urns and wrote extensively about them.
So,
Yeah, what do you want to know? Like, I like titties as well, but I'm not a historian. Yeah, well, I like Byron. I like
Byron is famous for...
his dick.
No.
What else? I don't know anything else about Byron.
For inventing the barboscope. Will you tell us more about that, please?
Oh, no, I won't.
Great.
Yeah, what else?
Right.
Cool story. What do you want to know?
Do I even have to ask, or will you just say no?
Jane Austen was a contemporary of Byron's.
So Jane Austen.
Yeah, she had excellent titties. My favorite ones, like a rare specimen, A grade quality.
Okay.
Yeah, A plus grade quality.
This man was a pervert, so I went to this field to read this book. It's insane these days. I can't get away from them. So, what is your scale for tits?
You know.
How does it work? Is it by size, by texture, color?
Well, it's mostly by texture, you know. You have to feel the specimen to classify it first. You have to like take it out, measure it.
So, what kind of texture is best
Well,
in your grading system?
I like, you know, like a curvy. I like curvy ones.
Curvy is not a texture.
No, well, it is. You know, you can classify it as a texture as well. Yeah, you know, like in Britain we do things differently. I don't know. Maybe you're from America or something.
Right. No, I'm from here.
No, I'm pretty sure you're from America.
Okay, then, right.
What?
How many books have you written?
The ladies of the court did not often.
They did not often wear clothes unless they were paid money. They were nudists. Lord, the professor told me all about it, but I had to leave because I did not want to hear it.
Queen Victoria outlawed titstery.
Titstery was illegal in 1842. I'm gonna meet a scientist who's gonna tell me more, perhaps.
This painting depicts the young Queen Victoria guarded by a dog.
Victoria was scared of children, so it was important that the dog would guard her from herself.
When she grew up, she expressed her love of dogs by wearing a fur coat made from different animals. As she grew, she shed that as well and opted for fancy crowns. This lady was.
So I'm here with the lady right now. Thank God you're not a pervy man.
She married Prince Albert in 1836.
So Prince Albert, what was that like? Did he do stuff? Did he make you breakfast?
Unfortunately, Prince Albert died young and never made breakfast for the Queen.
Wow, that was a great interview. I'm gonna go around some more and see if I can find out more about the royal family. At the moment, I'm in this room, so I better get a move on.
After Albert's death, the Queen wanted to make everybody as miserable as her by packing 30 people in a car.
So you're the expert on Prince Albert. Has that anything to do with the Albert, the penis thing? You know, when they put it on?
Oh, you know, like he had excellent penis. I think he has like 2-inch size, you know, like the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Albert, like, I think you need to do more research on that.
True.
We went to this train to do more research on Prince Albert. I'm here with the woman again. Hi, woman. I'd like to know more about other historical stuff. How did they use frogs for clothing?
Oh, you know, they took them, they skinned them alive, put them in gloves, you know, and they...
Oh wow, and this was pretty common, huh? That's just what they did on Tuesdays, was it? Or am I getting it wrong?
Yeah, well, you know, they had to take Prince Albert's dick, and so they had to use the frog hands.
True. I wanted to leave that place as fast as possible.
I'm almost out of the country. I could not get away fast enough. I literally jumped onto this moving train and risked my life because that was unbearable.
Trains were quite frightening, so do not scare children, they were given human faces. This practice was first started by Islamabad Kingdom Brunel.
So children's faces in trains, when did that start?
Well, we see the start in the Black 7th century, you know, like when black people kind of kind of invented this stuff. You know, we were first. You white people won't understand anyways. So, yeah, you know, like we came together.
So black people invented faces on trains.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We kind of understood that we can make the
And
children
what was the
that have.
purpose for it?
Well,
To do what? Tell me more, please. I'm listening very carefully.
well,
We never learned why this was invented.
But that's okay, because I'm outside again.
So the trains could travel more efficiently, bridges were built. As the trains moved out of fashion, the bridges were reworked for cars. This factory used to make trains using tiny wheels, which were then combined to create the large train wheels we see today. These are the train mills of yore, and the spindleboops.
Oh, wow.
It was a very difficult work that was started by children as young as 4. While others were making out, they were making wheels. Women helped too, overseen by John Gornan, who created the oversight machine. The oversight machine could monitor up to 14 women for 13 hours a day. It employed the latest technology of the time, the ticker tongle.
I'm here with an old man.
oh, hello, young lady. I'm an engineer, Tom. I'm gonna tell you something.
So John Gordon,
What?
what was he like?
He was gay.
Was he?
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
sure.
wow, okay. How do you know?
Well, it's
Was
a
it
secret.
just like his thing?
Yeah, like I like his
Okay.
thing.
So he had this machine, and what would that do?
You know, it would just make him more gay. That was gay machine.
Oh, I'm not sure how this works. Will you explain, please? How would it make him more gay?
Well, basically, you just look at it and you understand you were more gay than you were the day before. And I like this machine. You know why?
Why?
I'm also gay.
This, of course, was the difference engine number 2. Difference engine number 1 was used to monitor women at factories, while the second engine displayed pictures of men at work, and it was used.
Men at work was an uncommon sight.
Gordon liked to take pictures of his brother, who worked in the fields and later grew a beard. Some say he bore a striking resemblance to Charles Darwin.
Darwin. He's the evolution guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Darwin. Yeah, he had a huge ass beard.
He did.
Oh yeah, he did.
And what was his theory?
The people should be more women.
Darwin traveled to several islands and collected several snakes.
Like this one. Aw. So Darwin, he had a rich family history as well.
Yeah, you know, he collected a lot of snakes, you know. He liked snakes a lot.
Yeah, that was very memorable. What else happened?
Well, you know, he liked crocodiles as well. And then he saw snakes and crocodiles and decided to make new evolutionary theory.
So he was basically Steve Irwin.
Oh yeah, you know, like he tried to bury finger into their buttholes.
What?
Well, you heard me. Don't make her repeat it.
This is a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, but you know it happens. Sometimes people just want to do.
Can't say I'm not getting used to this.
Well, you should. I mean, it's pretty common in these parts of the world.
Have you done it before? Is that something you do? Or am I just meeting weirdos?
No, it's just like a habit of mine as well. Like I once stuck a finger in my butthole as well, and also the finger in the butthole of crocodile. Yeah, this was a great crocodile. I ate him afterwards.
Yeah, I think it's time to get out of here.
Darwin wanted to breed a super snake using his newfound theory of evolution. Did he succeed? I'm coming to his museum to find out.
So Darwin, he has a statue now. It's amazing. I'm gonna talk to a man who created the statue.
Charles Darwin lived to the age of 87. And then he died. He's buried here in Europe. Indeed, the entire world can be seen as a graveyard of Darwin. Only one man eclipsed him, and it was John Flagstaff.
Flagstaff the Great, they used to call him.
Flagstaff traveled to new shores and drew pictures of kangaroos incorrectly. He also landed on the shore of Geneva, where he met the Swiss.
The Swiss and the kangaroos weren't a good mix.
Indeed, he had to flee from the resulting conflicts to Tobago.
Tobago, Tobago, we love kangaroos, that's what they used to say.
It was a really rough time for the Swiss. The Swiss kangaroo war was brutal and one-sided. It raged all across the world, from North America all the way to Australia. It was truly the First World War. Africa was not spared either. And they built the Taj Mahal to commemorate the peace 23 years later.
I'm gonna meet a historian who's gonna tell us more about the Swiss kangaroo wars in detail. It's gonna be fascinating. Please stay tuned, because I am Cunk.
But the peace did not last. For the people who built the Taj Mahal rebelled against the empire. Here are some of the relics they stole from the palace of the governor. This globe once showed the entire world, but now it's just the half.
So this is the expert on the war.
Oh yeah, that was really the First World War. A lot of bullets were flying, a lot of kangaroos died. Swiss, yeah, they were fucked as well. But I'm sure that it was the last war we ever had in this area of part of the world. So what else you want to know?
What was the reason for the starting of the war? Can you expand? Please.
Well, that's pretty complicated. We believe that the first kangaroo, stuck a finger in the butthole of the Swiss. Yeah, and then the Swiss retaliated by sticking the finger in the butthole as well. And, there was a spiral of escalation afterwards. And it's bloody.
These machines were used in later conflicts, as they did not have buttholes, which made them much safer.
So I left the other man here because he was a fake historian. Could you tell us the beginning of the kangaroo war?
Yeah, well, as I was saying,
What was it actually?
I can expand. Well, actually, it was 2 fingers in the butthole, right? Because I mean,
This proved no help either. So I went to an empty theater to contemplate the conflict. Were the Swiss truly as athletic as we have seen? Or did they simply have large feet?
The feet versus athleticism debate has gone on till this day. We might never know the answer, but I do know I do not want to interview anyone to find out. Unless this TV show makes me. Oh no. Hi.
hello.
I'll give you this keyboard so you don't speak.
Oh, okay. So I maybe should play a war song of the kangaroo side, right? You like it, right? It's like a rock song. It's really bloody.
Oh, it's like music to my ears.
Oh yeah.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop. The conflict was later dramatized in the hit play by Oscar Wilde, 2 Pouches and a Swissman. He wrote it together with his sister, Wildaria Wilde. It has been published in a 27-volume collection called the Cunk collection. This collection was never read, but published by John Mussenthorpe, who did hold it for his various portraits. This was later the inspiration.
Pouchman on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? That's a quote from the book he wrote himself. He was wondering the answer. And so are we.
Sherlock Holmes proved more popular than the Concha Concha play, mostly because of his work's brevity. It inspired such people as Benedict Cumberbatch and the architect of this street. I walk down it now to look at Charles Dickens.
We're gonna meet Benedict Cumberbatch now, and he's gonna tell us more about his role as Sherlock Holmes.
But before, let's look at a photo of Charles Dickens.
That was Charles Dickens. And now we're gonna do the interview. Or we might read this book and find out ourselves. Who knows? We like to keep it exciting in this show. I'll take the book, I guess. Let's start reading. Page 1. Charles Dickens. It was a cold night.
Oh, we are the chimney boys. We go down and then we go out with our butts out. The chimney boys. We are the chimney boys. We walk down the street with the boys. We meet the meat man and we meet the barrel man. It is the time of the boys. This was the opera written by Charles Dickens. It was performed 7 times.
That was an amazing book. And we avoided an awkward interview as well.
The play was shown to great acclaim, and it even inspired the real Oscar Wilde to write a better version of the Kangaroo War.
Oscar Wilde was gay, as we all know. But he was a good writer.
So he went down to Bow Street with Taylor, but he went to prison where they made him lie down all day.
The nickname Wilde comes from his daughter, Wild West. You see, it's written here.
Wilde often sat with other men on chairs. That was a hint. He also went to giant balls, which was also a hint.
So many hints, so little time.
But moving on, people still lived after he died, and they got more gay. The camera really helped.
You say you put on 10 pounds when you're being shot by the camera. I say it's 3.
So old men like to touch young.
Creepy old men everywhere. There is no escape. This is life.
Indeed, this has been a trend through history. The police have worked in vain to stop this groping epidemic using methods such as displaying pigs and murdering at Peckham.
Peckham is a wild boar that was substituted by the pig when we ran out.
In this brutal time, the police found many dead bodies.
At least 5 were found on this street here. Nobody really counted.
Counting was not invented until 20 years later. But the East End horrors were very much of the present.
Horrors. I'm by the house where horrors happened. Let's not go in case they happen again. I'm very careful. You got to be these days. You never know. I guess I'll just walk forward and see what happens. Or not. I can also stand here.
Murder victims were many, and in those times they did not identify them. The chief inspector on the case was Havisham Bardagi, who was also the prince consort. Unfortunately, his investigation was cut short by his death from brushstrokes. Oh, I'm just walking down the streets with the brushstrokes. I meet the people of the streets. Oh, that's a chip. I am John Bobla Bear Me, and this is my friends with Carl. Oopale doopa, oh no, that's not me. Oopale doop, I like the police.
Barnaky was part of the police. He was a special agent.
Of course, it all ties back to the Queen. The Queen commissioned a sculpture of the murderer so he could be identified.
I saw the sculpture up close.
Oh yes, my subjects will know the murderer and then avoid him.
I'm dressed as the Queen to look at the sculpture.
She dispatched hundreds of men to hunt for the killer. Unfortunately, the killer was already dead.
One killer is bad, but even worse is two.
He was given a full state burial to commemorate.
To commemorate his son's birthday.
His son also received a large cake and a rocking horse. Queen Victoria thought this was justice.
And justice was served. It's great when murder ends up working out, isn't it? Oh, it's locked.
Of course, in time, that boy grew up to be a man. And that man grew up to perv on little girls.
Little girls. So innocent. Such easy targets. They try to find the creepy man.
There were huge protests. These protests were led by this lady, Florence.
Florence and the Machine.
Indeed, the machine of protests rolled on with the leadership of Florence. Some of them were arrested, and some were forced to drink. But through all these struggles, they persevered, and they raced horses in their free time.
Horse racing. It's amazing how fast horses run.
This card marks all the horses I want to ride.
Not the first one, just the last four. First one is shit. Okay, I'm gonna go take this pen and ride my horse. Yep.
Next time on the Cunk Life, see what happens to Florence as television is introduced. It's a war. A war for equality.
So how many butts are you gonna talk about? 7?